Jesus walks along the sea and he's teaching the crowd. And he knows Levi, or he notices Levi, also known as Matthew, tax collector, working at his job. And whatever we might see, and whatever the folks around Matthew might see, Jesus sees a potential disciple. And Jesus stipulates one condition, but it proves to be unconditional. Trusting obedience. Follow me, he says to Matthew. No trial period to see if you like it, or maybe you want to do it. Follow me, he says to him. And the reward for following this particular rabbi would be neither more nor less than sharing in his work. Matthew jumps up from the tax table, leaves his money, and he bolts to follow Jesus. So listen up. Is Jesus calling us to reevaluate how we're spending our time, our lives, our careers? Is he challenging us to break down and bust up the barrier between office and vocation, between what we do for a living and what we do to serve God? Is he crying for us to use our time, talents, and treasure for more than business building and wealth accumulation? Well, we can serve God wherever we are. We may be at a Matthew moment in our lives. A what? A Matthew moment. A time when God is calling us to something greater. Greater than supplying services and producing products. Greater than punching clocks and cashing checks. Greater than working hard now so we can play hard later. In this Matthew moment, God might just be challenging us to be more Christ-like. You'll know you're ready for something more, maybe more satisfying, something more holy, something more Christ-like, when you discover that your own plans for the future are not nearly as exciting as God's plan. People often ask Mike Slaughter, and some of you are familiar with Mike Slaughter. He penned the last 2 or 3 Advent studies that we've done here at the church. He is the pastor of a large United Methodist congregation in Ohio. And people often ask him where he sees himself in 5 or 10 years. And Mike responds that if he's in charge of his own life, he knows the answer to that question. But if God is in charge of his life, he has no idea how to answer that question. As Christ-oriented believers, we look for God to be at the helm, keeping us on course that is clearly his way. I mentioned something about holiness, and God is my co-pilot, bumper stickers, and how that's not theologically very sound, because God is never our co-pilot. God is our pilot. If anyone is the co-pilot, it's us, you know. So if we believe that God is at the helm, keeping us on course, keeping us on course that is exactly his way, you know, we follow Christ because we know that he trusted God completely, all the way through the cross and the empty tomb. So as we follow him on the path of discipleship, through bread breaking with sinners and roller coaster rides on stormy seas, we'll grasp that God's career path for us is far more thrilling and satisfying than anything that you and I could map out on our own. With the Lord charting the course, we'll feed the hungry, clothe the naked, heal the sick, and speak God's word. But, hold on just a second. Hold on for a second. Does that mean that everyone has to become a full-time religious leader, a pastor, or a paycheck-drawing church pro? Not at all, folks. Not at all. It's much better if Jesus has disciples in medicine, or the legal system, or marketing, or mortgage servicing. Much more constructive to the kingdom if there is a Jesus person in politics, or police work, or a student in the classroom. Much more glorious for the gospel if there's a Christ-like person working behind the cash register, or stocking the shelves, or teaching, or on the construction site, or in the daycare center. Or even just on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning, sitting down at McDonald's, drinking coffee and shooting the burritos. Jesus doesn't say to Matthew, you need to get this straight. Jesus doesn't say to Matthew, become a minister. That's not what he says to Matthew. Hey, Matthew, become a minister. That's not what he says. What he says is, follow me. And that following can happen in many places and in a multitude of ways. And however it's done, folks, it can spread God's will and spur other people to find Christ in their lives. Last week it was holiness. This week is discipleship. Are you hearing Christ say, follow me? Are you not sure how to or if you want to respond to that follow me? There is a way. We talk about discipleship all the time. And we make it sometimes maybe seem like it's harder than it is. And sometimes we make it seem like, well, if I'm going to be a disciple, I have to come out here and cut out shoe patterns. Or I have to do this, or I have to do that to be a disciple. There's a way to learn how to be a disciple in your everyday life. What it means to live as a disciple in your everyday life. You don't have to sit an hour away on Wednesday evenings to be at the church to be a disciple. You can be a disciple at your job site, at your desk at school. You can be a disciple at the grocery store as you're shopping. You can be a disciple at the shoe sensation where Donna loves to go and look for shoes. You can be a disciple wherever you find yourself and in whatever circumstance you find yourself. And there's a way to learn more about it and how to do it. And it's called covenant discipleship. I was in one of these groups 20 years ago. And it's probably one of the most significant things I've ever done in my Christian walk. Not sure if it's for you. offer you an invitation today, not to come to the altar or anything else. I'm going to offer you an invitation to meet with me next Sunday morning. We're going to meet downstairs in the fellowship hall. I'll be meeting with the open door group that meets down there, and I'm inviting you to come and join in that meeting at 9:30. And we'll explore together. You know, most of you reserve Sunday mornings for worship anyway. Heck, I'm just asking you to come 45 to 60 minutes earlier next Sunday than you usually would. Let's meet together. And let's see if covenant discipleship might be something for you as I break it down a little bit and explain. If you feel that it is, let me know. We're going to order some books, and right after Advent, we're going to move into covenant discipleship. You'll find out how easy it is to intentionally be a disciple for Jesus Christ. You'll find out how easy it is to be what is intentional about your discipleship. Maybe God's calling you today to a Matthew moment. If you feel that He is, be here next Sunday morning at 9:30. And let's explore that calling together, that discipleship calling together. And I'll explain more about it. Won't cut into your week. Won't cut into your week at all as far as time constraints. Meet on Sunday mornings, for those of you who reserve Sunday mornings.